Hi there, I'm Alison Crouch and we're here at Boomerang Pilates and we're going to do a bit of a leg series today. This is focusing on primarily glute and hamstring activation, and it's very gentle and available for pretty much everybody to use as long as you feel safe and comfortable. And we're going to start by standing up, at which point you're only going to see me from the waist down because that's how cameras work. So you're going to start by, if you know you tend to stand with your pelvis forward, you're going to shift your weight back over your heels. Back should feel comfortable, shoulders soft and relaxed. Shift your weight over onto your left foot so that your right leg comes off the floor. And start to press your right leg back behind you so that you really target your glute muscles. So no traveling up into the back, super stable, no big wobbling of the pelvis or the back. Keep your leg long and straight. And you want to do 10 or 12 of these nice and slow. Really working to find the range and the angle, so you might be a little bit more out to the side, might be a little more to the back, that works for you, expecting of course that it could change from side to side. Bring that leg down, shift your weight over onto your right, and then press your left leg back. Again, finding that sense of opening through the front of the left thigh and activating through the back of the left leg. Nice and strong, standing into the right side. Thinking of that candy cane approach of the strength coming up along the side and the back of the leg rather than clenching into the front of the standing leg. A couple more. Nice little activation. This is easy to do anywhere. You don't need any equipment. Waiting for the kettle to boil, brushing your teeth. Hey, how are you? So now we're going to do a single leg kick. You're going to lie down on your front. You're going to get your forearms parallel and pressing into the floor. You want to find wide shoulders, lifting the chest, the bottom of the rib cage and the belly button and the lower belly off the floor, keeping your pubic bones level and planted into the mat. Flex your right foot and slowly pull your right heel towards your sit bone, only as far as you can go, keeping all of this upper body and pelvis really stable, and slide back down. You want to go slowly so that you can really find the work in the back of your leg and a sense of creating your own internal resistance. You could do this with the band tied to something and wrapped around your heel to provide you with some actual resistance if that works better for you. 10 or 12 of these on one side, and bring the leg down, and then 10 or 12 of them on the other side. Again, because we're usually different from one side to the other, you may find that your range is different. You may find it's harder to hold your upper body stable on one side compared to the other. So really try and keep all those bits and pieces in place. And again, nice and slow, pulling up, keeping the pelvis really level, really stable, and really fixed in place so that it's the leg moving, not the whole body. And then we'll go to a double leg pull. So bring both legs together. Again, you could put your heels into the band for some extra resistance. We have two options here. You can maintain your upper body position, squeeze the legs together and pull up with the feet flexed. Or if this feels like it might be traveling into your back, let your body come down, resting onto the floor and just pulling with your body down flat, whatever feels better to you. So do the first set of 10 or 12, only coming maybe a third of the way up off the floor, because that's going to activate a certain portion of your posterior musculature. And then do another set where you're pulling in farther, but again, only as far as you can go without losing that lifting of the lower belly, without letting even if you're lying down flat, when you pull in, you don't want your butt to pull up off the floor. It means you've gone past where you're going to get your best work. So 10 or 12 of those in each position, and then you can roll over onto your back. For this first exercise, you might want, if you have it with you, a yoga strap or a belt that is not stretchy, because you're going to want to try and relax your leg. Hang on just a second. And you want something under your head. So a half dome, a cushion, a yoga block, whatever you've got that supports your head. Bring your right foot up into the strap or the belt. Keep the left leg bent, pelvis and ribs heavy to the floor. The goal here is to relax your leg, particularly this front line and into the hip flexors as much as you can. And then just make nice kind of large pizza-sized circles. Again, you're going to do about 10 circles in each direction. You're trying to not let your leg get too tight. So if your hamstrings are really tight, let your knee bend a little bit. If you're really tight, let your knee bend completely and put the strap around the knee and circle the whole leg as a unit rather than extending too much. I don't want your leg to be down here. That's too potentially straining for your back. Change directions and do, 8, 10, 12 more circles. I'm not going to do a ton of them on the video, but you could certainly do this for a minute or so if that felt good to you. And then we're going to add a little work. So right from the top of the back of the leg, turn your leg out. So it's like you're turning your thigh bone from the back of your thigh bone so that if it's your right leg, your right knee, and your right foot are turning a little further off to the right. And then you're going to make smaller circles, more like a personal pan pizza size, because all my images have to do with food. Keeping the front of the hip as relaxed as you can, keeping your pelvis heavy to the floor, keeping your ribs down and heavy, shoulders and neck relaxed. Change directions and circle again. Last 2 on this side. And come on back into center, and then put the other leg in the band. Bring the first one down to the floor. Again, settle your pelvis, settle your ribs, relax your neck and shoulders, and then nice easy circles. See if you can identify the sticky spots and ask your brain to ask your muscles to relax before you get to the sticky spots. We're looking for a really smooth, uninterrupted circle here at the hip joint, right? The circling of the foot is kind of extraneous. A couple more in this direction, and then change directions. You can really sometimes feel that this is very, very different from one side to the other. And now we add the work, so you're going to spin your leg right from the top of the back of the leg. Imagine the muscles wrapping around like a barbershop pole that starts right at your hip. Smaller circle, clearly less relaxing in this version. And again, finding what you need to find in terms of a knee bend to not stress or strain your hamstrings. And then change over, do the same thing in the other direction. 10, 9, 8, relaxing your shoulders. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Come on back to center. Place both feet in the band. Bring your legs all the way together, keeping your legs fairly high and keeping them stable. And then pull your heels towards the backs of your knees and then press your heels towards the ceiling. We're trying to work and stretch now into your calf muscles. So you don't want to do any sort of extraneous knee bending. We want to keep this all really stable right in here, no hyperextending. So if you know you tend to want to open your knees really far out in the back, you might want to put a little bit of bend in, but then keep it at that same position. Especially if you have really tight calves, your body will tend to want to find a way to avoid this one. Pull, and then imagine a string is pulling the calf right up to here, so your heel is sliding along the back. I'm almost at cramping, I'm pulling so hard. Right, so it's not pushing your foot up into the strap, it's pulling your heel towards the calf. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then you can lose the band, sit yourself up, And then grab either your yoga tune-up balls or your 2 tennis balls in a sock. Place the tune-up balls under the bottom of your calf, down towards your ankle. Take the weight into your other foot in your hands, and then roll back and forth along the length of your calf. You can have your foot flexed or you can have your foot relaxed. It will change the feeling a little bit, so whichever feels good to you will be just grand. And then change over, do the same thing on the other side. Getting a nice little hit of upper body work while you do this. And then take the yoga tune-up ball or the tennis ball out of its container and finish with just a little bit of a glute roll. You want to make sure that this feels good and positive and helpful. It can be intense, certainly, but there should be no sense of, referred pain. So any kind of zinging, tingling that's going down your leg, you want to move the ball to a different spot. We don't want to have any nerve compression going on. You can roll out for as long as feels good on that side, and then shift over and roll out the other side, knowing, of course, as always, that it can be different from one side to the other. I think I say that about 1,000 times a week. Okay, that might be exaggerating. Probably 50 though, over the course of a week. So as soon as you feel like you've had enough rolling, you can come on off the ball. And then seriously, I would suggest, if you can make it work, go for a walk. All of those exercises are really, really helpful for making your gait feel smoother, for making your walk more effective and efficient, because you're going to get more of your drive for your steps from the backs of your legs. And so I hope you enjoyed that and it felt good for you. You can do that, it's pretty gentle, you can do that every day as long as it feels okay. And if you have anything you want to let me know about it, you can leave a comment down below. Let me know if there are any other series that you would like me to do for you, and we'll see you next time at Boomerang. Bye.